taking a walk?
Okay, Balara. What's your lead on getting us a Fate expert for the team?
Good evening.
Greetings.
Rook! So, we need a Fate expert. I've been writing to a senior mage who fits the part. But right now, he's on an expedition, so I reached out to his colleagues to find him. This is Lady Myrna and Vorgoth. They're necromancers. Mournwatch ones, I mean.
Your friend's request for a Fade expert was urgent. How darksome are things outside Navara?
About, 6?
I see. Balara's correspondent is Professor Emmrich Volkarin, a Fade expert and powerful psychagogue.
You will need him.
Where can I find him?
The Professor is currently delving the shrouded halls in the Grand Necropolis. We will grant you passage to look for him. Where the dead. Lately they grow restless.
The voices again.
Now you see, Dweller, the gods hunger to reclaim this place. Their minions scavenge what the wolf left behind. They turn his regrets to weapons and blight all they touch. If the Evenuras take the crossroads, darkness will fall.
Spell it out for me. Exactly what happens if the gods reclaim the crossroads?
The fade flows through these ancient ways. Spirits and demons, dreams and magic. Now, imagine all blighted.
Like I needed another reason to stop them. Nothing worse than unwelcome house guests. Consider them evicted.
You are not like the wolf.
No, I'm not.
A revenant is destroyed. Others remain. Fight on, Dweller. The blight must wither.
Untold years asleep, only to see our sanctums defiled. Even Arlathan is trampled by cast-offs and mortals. We must secure the Alluvians.
We shall. The Ontom are uneasy in the crossroads, but they know their duty.
If they fail, give the best preserve to me for improvement.
Dead on, Tom. We're already on it.
Onward, Dweller.
Do you ever wonder what the fade smells like to a squirrel?
No.
This is it. But no sign of the professor.
I hope he's here and that he doesn't mind us disturbing him. He is a senior necromancer. I don't... Oh!
What a marvelous surprise! Any trouble with the lift? Our last guests were stuck for hours. Poor souls. Oh. Professor Emmrich Volkaren of the Morn Watch.
Hello, Professor. We've never met, well, in person, but I've been writing to you.
Belara, my dear girl, what a pleasure. Surely you didn't come all this way just to see me.
Actually, we did. You see, we need a Fade expert.
I'm Rook.
Charmed.
I liked that bit with the flaming skull.
It's nothing, really. Just an evocation of the flame of the last steps.
It looks great.
Thank you. You know, I'm never quite sure how these spells strike someone from outside Navarra. I'd be pleased to continue our conversation after I tend to some small business here. I must investigate. Would you two mind accompanying me further into the shrouded halls?
Toward that screaming?
Something's gone awry in this part of the necropolis, Rook. The dead stir more easily than they should.
Something weird up ahead.
Strange. These halls should be under the protection of the bell.
Is that a despair demon?
Fascinating, isn't it? They shouldn't be able to breach the shrouded halls at all.
Take your word for it.
Trouble coming.
Careful, Rook! Signaled you out!
Where'd everyone go?
discover why that spirit manifested here.
Lead the way, Professor.
Someone's barred the door and chained the sunken star.
There's undead here.
We may need to defend ourselves depending on their condition.
Haven't fought undead in a while.
There's no reaching these. They're mindless.
What's that mean?
I'm afraid sometimes the weaker dead work themselves into frenzies. Poor things. Fantastic, Rook. I must free that bell.
Need some help?
Thank you. The star, the bell, can banish these despair spirits if we unchain it. We'll need a wisp to unseal the doors leading out. Could you please find one and bring it here?
Okay. How?
Give your greetings, and the wisp will follow.
You got it.
Hello.
Wisps are the simplest of spirits, but quite helpful. Bring the wisp here, and we can unseal the doors.
Doors open. Where to now?
This should lead us to the upper chambers, where we can free the bell. There's someone I'd like to consult with on the way.
I hope we can help here, Professor.
You already have, Bellara, and it's just Emmrich. Please.
Great, Professor.
I assume your visit has to do with recent upheavals we've sensed in the Fade?
Oh, just a little.
Looks like we're doing this!
Ranged incoming.
Excellent. All safe?
This magic, it drains everything around it.
Echoes of the despair spirits, misery devouring itself. We should keep our distance. If provoked, these manifestations will shatter.
This is locked too. And I didn't see any wisps around.
Then I shall call for aid. They've answered. We'll need to guide the wisps who've just arrived to the door.
Those wisps,
Strange. This door shouldn't be here.
shouldn't it?
The necropolis rearranges itself every so often.
Can't do this without a wisp. Here's our second wisp.
These are way different than some of the wisps in Arlathan.
I should like to meet some one day.
I don't know, Professor. Your wisps seem less, dangerous.
There's the last wisp.
Good. Let's return to the door. Well done. Past these chambers, we'll find some assistance with reaching the bell. Despair is far more pervasive than I'd thought. We must stop who's ever drawing these spirits here, Rook.
You think a person's behind all the despair demons?
Oh yes. Mortals are their prime attraction. Trouble over there.
Oh, is it time again? Great. clean.
Quickly! We're under fire!
How do we get rid of all these despair demons?
Their source is near the bell you saw earlier. Ringing it will banish them, but we must find who lured them there in the first place. Tell me, Rook, where are you from?
I grew up in Tevinter.
Our cousins in Magecraft to the north. You must tell me about your journeys once we're above ground. Here we are. This is where we'll learn who summoned these despair spirits.
But how?
You must open yourself to possibilities while in the necropolis. Would you mind lighting those braziers, Rook? This should unseal our final pass to the bell. It's best we unchain it quickly.
What's it do exactly?
The sunken star will drive away despair. Any malicious spirit that hears the tolling of the bell will be banished to the Fade.
Oh, that'd be helpful in Arlethan, but I bet it only works here, doesn't it?
Quite correct. The bell would be inert, outside the necropolis.
Still, I bet the principles could be replicated.
Excellent. Approach the body and we'll begin. By seal and flame, who brought despair in our midst? Despair? Who brought it here?
Venatori.
The Venatori. Of course. This way, please.
What did you just do?
The colloquial term is corpse whispering, a gift that manifested with my magic.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Honestly, I've no idea how the other Watchers navigate the necropolis without it.
Shh. Think I hear someone.
This map is useless. We wasted 3 slaves in those traps. If that Hand of Glory burns down...
So don't dawdle!
We found those Venatori.
They have no place in these halls.
Oh, nicely done, Rook.
They dare this fire!
What are the Venatori after? Gold? Artifacts?
Raw magic. Their first envoys were obsessed with gathering power for some new masters.
Ah, I'll fill you in on them later.
Watch ahead. We suck that will!
Wear them down! On your right!
Well, down one more despair demon. That's the last of them.
I see someone by the crates.
I don't think they're Venatori. Hello? Did the Venatori bring you here?
They said I'd spilled the wine too many times. That I'd be a better sacrifice than slave.
You are in Navarra, sir. There are no slaves on our soil. Please remain here. After we've seen to the rest of the Venatori, I'll send for someone to escort you above.
Oh, all right.
Those Venatori dragged that man down here just to die.
The Watchers will shelter him. We'll inquire if he has any family in Minrathous.
I know people in Minrathous who would help with that. Just say the word.
Thank you. We'd welcome the assistance. As for the Venatori, what remains of them will be put to work. The Sunken Star can help us if we break the Venatori's chains.
Right. There's one chain.
Excellent. Company. Be ready. The ritual to wake the bell will draw Despair's attention.
And any more Venatori?
I'll need you to keep them occupied while I work.
There's the Venatori. How are we doing, Emmrich?
The bell is slowly wakening, but we must fight a little longer.
Venatori brought demons.
Typical of them.
Behind you!
Emmrich, now what?
Now, the grand necropolis shows itself!
Worked! Those despair demons are just gone.
Pretty impressive.
Thank you, but come, let's ensure these cultists didn't leave anything dangerous behind. I'll ask our attendants to gather their bodies later, of course.
And this is a severed hand.
It can't be. A hand of glory? The Venatori should never have this. I must find out where it came from. Let me know when you'd like to return to the chambers above.
Let's get back to the lighthouse.
You can tell me why you've sought out a Fade expert on the way?
I know it's a lot, but I swear we've seen the blighted elven gods ourselves.
It would explain recent oniric disruptions.
At the least. The implications of what Rook's witnessed are... Ah, thank you, Manfred.
No one ever brings me tea after a slog through a haunted crypt.
My assistant, Manfred. Always thoughtful.
You spoke of danger to the Fade.
The elven gods plan to tear it wide open to get to the Blight. And they've already messed with it. Demons, tears in reality. Our team needs a Fade expert.
Many Watchers never depart Navarra. But with events so dire...
I'd be delighted to assist.
It has been many years since you left us.
Well, yes, but elven gods, ancient magics. I couldn't bear miss this. Besides, I've spent my life exploring the Fade and speaking to spirits. If Rook needs an expert, none are better qualified than I.
Only if your assistant's coming.
Manfred? But of course.
Welcome aboard.
Wonderful. I'll gather my things. Come, Manfred.
The Grand Necropolis was at peace again, and Emmrich was off to a new adventure. But in Navarra, nothing stays down for long. The Venatori had unearthed something no one should have, and delivered it to the worst possible person. Emmrich's journey would soon bring him face to face with the gloaming lantern.
What the Venatori ultimately intended with their incursions into the necropolis worries me. Whether or not it was directed by the gods, the timing serves them well. Chaos, I fear, is their ally.
With this, Demeter's Crossing and the Blighted Dragons, and everything else we're all dealing with, feels like we're at war. A lot of little wars.
Didn't take the gods long to attract support from all the worst people in Thedas.
They're offering power to anyone who wants it. The Venatori and Antam won't question what it will cost.
So how do we fight back then?
We don't have an army, but we do have allies, like the Veil Jumpers.
After Demeter's Crossing, it's personal for them.
The Shadow Dragons? I should have earned my way back into their good graces after we saved Minrathous.
Tarquin won't ever admit it, but he was impressed.
Also, Lady Morrigan requested a meeting at the Cobbled Swan in Minrathous.
Could she have found some trace of the gods?
Probably. Morrigan doesn't visit crowded taverns for fun.
I also heard from Grey Wardens out in the Hossberg wetlands, Antoine and Evka. Something strange is happening with the Blight there. I bet it involves the gods.
Any details on the Blight in the wetlands?
Antoine said he didn't write it down.
Why not?
Either he didn't trust someone else wouldn't read the note, Well, he didn't want us to panic.
The first warden didn't seem impressed the last time we met.
I heard he told you to piss up a rope.
Will he be in the wetlands?
I don't keep track. But he can't stop you from asking a few questions, if we're fast enough.
Gillinane has laid low since we hurt her dragon. But the Blight spreads rot wherever the gods go.
And no one's better at tracking Blight than wardens.
Morrigan and those wardens feel like our best leads on finding the gods.
Are they really gods? Or just ancient mages? It's not clear.
They're gods. In their power and wrath, at least.
Lucanus, you're back.
I am.
Good to have you back. This is Professor Emmrich Volkarin, our Fade expert, and Taash, our dragon hunter. They joined while you were away. Hey.
Charmed.
Right. Not everyone has met.
So, a dragon hunter. Treviso could have used you.
What's happening there?
It's just... people blame you for what happened to Treviso, Rook. But they did not have to make that choice, knowing what the gods are capable of. There was no recall. Still, it changes things. How could it not?
But you're back with us.
Yes, here to stay.
Good to have you back, whatever the circumstances. Everyone needs to be part of this. That's the only way we'll win.
After what they did to Treviso, I want these gods to fall. I don't see anyone else with a better chance than you. My blade's yours, until the end.
Great. Let's follow up on some leads.
I'll let Lady Morrigan know we're ready to meet.
I'll send word to Antoine and Evka. They're holed up in a town called Lavendel.
Everyone else should rest up. Be ready to move when I call.
Never easy, is it, kid?
What do you mean?
Making the big choices, then living with the consequences.
If I don't make the tough decisions, no one else will. So I live with the consequences.
And you don't blame anyone else for them. That's why I recruited you. Anyway, you've got a meeting with Morrigan to attend, and dealing with whatever the wardens found. All this chatting has taken it out of me. Think I'll rest for a bit. Good work, Rook. You'll find your way through this. I know it.
A third edition of the Unnameable Elements? I didn't even know it had editions.
Oh, it's much improved with the index. Please, borrow it if you'd like.
I'd love to. Oh, Rook, you probably wanted to say hi. Thanks, Professor.
You look moved in.
Just a few essentials. Manfred was a great help with the boxes. What a fascinating place this lighthouse is. What do you make of it?
It's great. Big, mysterious, lots of art. Everyone's got their own room.
It'd be easy to fall in love with such a place.
I think Bellara has.
She's been quite welcoming. However, I noticed a few of the others taken aback by Manfred, and I overheard remarks about my skulls. My necromancy won't cause any undue worry, will it?
We're still getting used to one another.
True, and yet...
Give it time. We'll settle in.
Please excuse me. Manfred and I should finish our inventory. Thank you for stopping by. By the way, Rook, before I left, Myrna and Vorgoth asked if we could assist with an outbreak of hauntings across Thedas. They also mentioned displaced wisps in the necropolis. I'm not sure what's frightened them, but it bears investigation.
Hauntings and scared wisps? Let's look into it.
Thank you. We'll depart for the necropolis whenever you're ready.
New voices, many wanderers. Life returns to the lighthouse.
It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats. Or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
Well, at least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Sounds like the perfect soldier. And even flies.
Aerial cavalry. A full-grown griffin is a force of nature. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that?
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters, still young, pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
I'd like to think everyone can find a new path. Even griffins.
Just wish I knew what it was.
Doesn't every good parent?
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about? Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
Let's ask Myrna and Vorgoth about these hauntings.
I'd also appreciate it if we could see to those displaced wisps. Now, despite what you may have heard, spirits who dwell here do so willingly. Most of our working dead are animated by unthinking wisps, which are little more than impulses from the Fade. But later, I could introduce you to some truly intelligent undead.
Professor, remember those spirits you wrote to me about?
Ah, the Judges of the Void. They should be awake and sated.
So exciting.
What do we have here? That did it.
I can assist.
Here's one of those scattered wisps you mentioned, Emmrich.
It's out of alignment. Let's find a receptacle for it while it recovers.
The door's locked. Maybe it'll open if we bring more wisps.
I hope so. I wonder what's inside.
They're powerfully warded, and yet... someone passed through these doors not long ago.
What do we have here? There we go. What do we have here? That did it. There we go. That did.
Shouldn't there be one more wisp for that locked door?
Right. Let's look around. That last wisp's unlocked this door. Let's take a look.
Careful,
I'm up and ready. Excellent. All safe?
That's a lot of dead Venatori. What happened here?
An excellent question.
Sealed tight.
Stand back. Are you Venatori? Are there sniffing rats? What form have you all? This vault's riches are mine. I tore them from the dead, and with me, they will remain.
That's gotta be a demon.
And a powerful one, to have been kept behind such ancient locks instead of simply banished.
Let's search around. Maybe the Venatori knew something. This note says the door's seals are tied to demons out in the world. Killing them unseals the door, but they'll keep returning until we destroy whatever's behind the door itself.
Well, let's find some demons.
The Order would be grateful. I've never even heard of this spirit.
Let's keep an eye out.
I wish I could breathe fire. I don't know, it just feels like the kind of thing that could be useful, you know?
Sometimes it helps to burn through stuff.
I wonder if we can make it go further or hotter. How long can you hold your breath?
Not long. Healers say it's because breathing fire hurts my lungs.
Oh, never mind then.
I'm sorry, but I find it completely unnatural.
I don't get why you think cremation's so bad. Everyone outside Navarra burns their dead.
All those lost vessels. Fine mansions reduced to ash. Manfred, for instance. How would his wisp have fared if I hadn't given it a body?
Where or who do you get his body from?
There was no single donor. The arms were recovered from a charnel pit. The ribs were a gift from a dear friend. And Manfred's wisp picked out his own skull from some donations. That was quite the day. He's been fine company during my Necropolis excursions ever since.
What does Manfred understand exactly?
Simple things, but he grows. Spirits of curiosity are voracious learners. The more he experiences, the more sophisticated his conclusions. With guidance, of course.
If I say, good to meet you, will he get that?
Manfred's alert to the sentiment, certainly. I encountered him as a wisp in the Necropolis years ago. A simple spirit, but so curious. He refused to leave my side.
So, you built a skeleton for the spirit to live in?
Spirits are formed from the emotions and desires of people in the mortal realm. Manfred's wisp came from curiosity. It's these spirits which animate the dead. Their drive revives the corpse, yet the corpse colors their actions. Thus, the eternal question, are undead inhuman spirits puppeting a body, or does some shade of the departed return?
It's got to bring back a little peace, at least.
That's my belief as well. I swear I could see it sometimes, Rook. A glint of recognition of something more in the dead.
Hey, that's my sleeve. Are you trying to steal my buttons?
As well as a certain mischievousness. Manfred. Thank you for all your help arranging things.
Dweller, a helper waits within. Another helper waits between the facing gods. Dweller, it is whole, restored. The fires are lit.
Well, it's all as you left it.
Close enough. I think the caretaker's been tidying up. Rook, now's not the best time to chat. Let's talk later.
Later then.
Venatori ransacked a shop near the plaza. Templars let it happen.
The Knight Commander interfering again. Isn't there something you can do about him? He answers to the Chantry.
I'm running into obstacles. He's got protection in the Magisterium.
Rook?
The market was all right. No one gave you any trouble. Got some new supplies. Take a look. Come back anytime.
Thanks again for dinner last night, Lucanus. That cream sauce.
A little mustard makes the difference. Though, my supplier in Treviso is...
Oh, so... Hey, what's the best thing you've ever eaten? Something fancy? Hitting us from range! Thanks again for dinner last night, Lucanus. That cream sauce.
A little mustard makes the difference. Though, my supplier in Treviso is...
Oh, so... Hey, what's the best thing you've ever eaten? Something fancy?
We ate a prisoner's nightmare. He dreamed a bloodthirsty tree with 10,000 branches. She was asking me, Spite.
Hey,
And
Rook.
now a dragon. What's happened? Lost their homes.
Why did Morrigan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Trevelyan, the woman who led us all.
Trevelyan? Isn't that the name of a noble family down in the south?
Yes. I remember the days before the Inquisition, when Trevelyan family politics were the most complicated part of my life. Simpler times.
I fear that simpler times are like to remain a memory, for now.
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane.
I won't let you down.
Don't worry about me. Worry about the people you've recruited, and about the people depending on you. I only sealed the breach because I had people like Cassandra, Leliana, and Cullen with me from the start. Without Dorian's magic and Josephine's diplomacy, we never would have come together to stop Corypheus. Years later, I had to disband the Inquisition, but I never lost the friends who had gotten me through it all. Ultimately, they're the only ones you can really count on. Do right by them, and you'll find your way.
We've got the makings of a good team, I think. We'll do our best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
If the South is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valrorio and Halam Shiral are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already, if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marchers have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My ma...
Don't worry. I called in a favor with the Divine. Your mother's safe with some old friends.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might be gone, but my name still carries some weight. I've used it to get people working together where they can. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the Blight.
I've been having trouble getting people in authority to listen to us. If you help with some of your political strength...
My political strength? Tevinter hates me. The Venatori helped make sure of that. And while I have a few friends in the Wardens, their leadership hasn't much cared for me since we clashed at Adamant Fortress.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette? We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Right now, Solus is giving us the information we need to track down the gods.
Yes, he is a vital source of information and advice, just as he was to the Inquisition before. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many alliances do you think he has made and broken?
I considered Solus a friend. I'd hoped to convince him to see reason. It's too late for that now. But still, if this can give you some insight, help you understand him, whatever it turns out to be, I hope that it helps.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Well, you get high marks for effort.
He's toying with me. So what brings you by?
Just curious, really. Wondering what it's like being a Grey Warden. There've always been these legendary warriors living apart from the world.
Don't know about that. I spent time with people who were bad right up till they took their vow.
How so?
Weishaupt is the last stop for the wrong sort. If you're facing prison or worse, you can always join the Grey Wardens and take your chances with the Blight.
I've heard about Weishaupt. Never been there.
It's a giant fortress and home of the Grey Wardens. It's been standing for as long as anyone remembers. At least since the first Blight.
Does it have floating buildings like the lighthouse?
No, but things float up from the latrines.
Huh. Fun bunch you hang out with.
The wrong sort have their charm.
And just how, wrong are the wrong sort?
Thieves, brigands, pirates, and the odd murderer now and then.
Sounds fun, right up to the murdering.
At least now they're murdering Darkspawn.
Has your first warden always been, well...
A stubborn bastard?
One way of putting it?
He means well in his own way. He's old-fashioned. Tradition is everything. Keeps us disciplined. We never deviate from it.
He'll have to. Elganon and Gillenine won't play by his rules.
If he even believes in them. The man doesn't have much imagination. Even the right sort can be the wrong sort.
A hot meal and warm bed in Weishaupt is better than rotting in some dungeon.
It would be, but the food's always cold, and Weishaupt's drafty in the winter.
Are you really selling it?
It gets better. When Darkspawn threaten a village, when innocent people are in danger, then we swoop in, swords held high, armor gleaming, while 100 faces look to us for salvation. And they all live to see the sunrise because of what we do.
Okay. Now I get it.
Best part is the warden fighting alongside you. Maybe they've done some bad things in the past. But after that day, it's different. There's some honor in their life where there wasn't before. Nothing like seeing redemption happen before your eyes.
We all need that chance. Put past sins to right.
It makes the warden stronger to have people in our ranks who've lived in the shadows. When the storm comes, you don't want farmers and florists fighting archdemons. It takes the wrong sort to put the world right.
Kinda like us, I suppose.
Minus the skeleton butler.
I don't know. Manfred the Warden has a ring to it.
How about we quit while we're ahead? See you around.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
Is this about what your mother said on the beach?
No.
What'd she say?
Taash's mother said that Taash acted more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
This isn't about the dress, is it?
No, it's... I don't know. She always says stuff like that. About how I dress, how I act.
And?
It feels... right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels... right. Why does it feel right?
Taash, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
Hey, it's not stupid. I do like being a woman, but if you don't, maybe that's something to think about.
But what does it mean?
Could be about your mother's expectations, or about how it feels to be a woman and Kunari. Or maybe it's being a woman, period.
How would knowing that help? It won't change anything.
Some of my friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
Lucanus, where is he?
Demon! No further! Isn't standing up to them supposed to work?
Let Lucanus go! Don't make us hurt both of you!
What's going on? Lucanus?
It's not Lucanus, it's the demon! It's taking him over, he's trying to leave!
Smells like jam and brimstone.
Rook, do something!
Spite, stop. You're not taking Lucanus through the Alluvion.
I could, if you'd move.
So you can take him where? Off a cliff, or worse?
How did... Rook? Taash?
You tried to walk through the Alluvion in your sleep.
Spite wanted out.
I need coffee.
Are you sure you're all right?
This could be better. It's hard for Spite to take control when I'm awake, so I try to stay awake.
You can't just stay awake forever. I think that would kill you.
I'll be more careful next time.
We have to make Spite understand that he's endangering you.
He's Spite, not learning. He doesn't listen to anyone. Don't worry about it. This won't happen again. And thanks.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did. Sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that. It's kind of mean.
I thought it was just an archive. How can it be mean?
The creator, its creator, I mean. An archive spirit takes on the personality of whoever makes it. Which, okay, that's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Really condescendingly, based on experience so far.
Right! You wouldn't ask questions, you'd tell them what to do, so let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. That was us.
A forgotten one? You mean the bad gods parents used to scare their kids into behaving?
Don't speak their name or they'll come for you. Now we know what the so-called good gods were like. Really like, I mean. So who knows what they really were? The Forgotten Ones. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario, like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
Archive, tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards, hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending, but Anaris will prevail.
Have fun with the condescending spirit.
I'll try. Could be worse, I guess.
Worse, like the wound of betrayal Lord Anaris suffered. Soon he will cast down the oppressors and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Rook, interested in visiting the Memorial Gardens?
What are you up to?
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis. I'd like to show you its more peaceful side.
Onward, Dweller.
So, Emmrich, you're a Mortalitasi.
Mortalitasi is a general term. I belong to the Morn Watch.
But you are a necromancer.
Yes, certainly.
Be ready.
On the job. I need some time.
Those are bones. Has this spirit been scattering someone's corpse around?
It considers this all a game. Let's return the remains to where they belong.
The bones we found just disappeared. Let's try this again. The bones we found just disappeared. Let's try this again. The bones we found just disappeared. Let's try this again. That did it. The bones are back where they should be.
There's a fight ahead.
That's trouble waiting to happen.
Navarra is dedicated to preserving the deceased. I suppose the displays of the Grand Necropolis is a bit exotic to you all.
Exotic is not how I would describe your dead body collection. Stay in cover!
That's the last of them.
Everyone all right?
Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
No one's gonna seize the day for you.
Just so. That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings.
Wait, what?
Let's continue.
So what now?
We light candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook? Look at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon? I'm surprised there was enough to bury.
Do you know, I never expected that the door we found back in the Vault of the Beloved would lead here.
So the necropolis actually shuffles its rooms around?
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a chamber. Could you light the next candle? Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants.
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
Bet you'd love some of the books the Shadow Dragons liberated from a few magisters.
This way, Rook.
You were right about the gardens being peaceful.
The necropolis has its dangers, but these places are a refuge for the dead.
How many people are buried here anyway?
Excellent question. We rarely should take a new census. You'll need to light these candles as well. Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages. I was pleasantly surprised by your respect for our undead tableau earlier, Rook. I'm beginning to think people outside Navarra find the necropolis a little unnerving.
Shadow Dragons are used to weird architecture. More skulls here, though.
The spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me. Ah, look here.
Hi? Should I say hi?
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but we've one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Belated condolences, if that's worth anything.
Always. We move on, as we must, but those long nights linger about the shadows.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. When I first arrived here, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me. Come, the next set of graves lies ahead. Please, light the next candles if you would. There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
And some death magic?
Well, every young mage needs a speciality. All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom and its rites, I ask you, Rook, what is it for?
It's gotta be the living, right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before. We must get to the candle, please, Manfred.
You told Harding that Manfred used to be a wisp until you gave him a body?
Yes. He's taken so well to it. Haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light. Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell. Let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed. We honor the listening spirits.
Hail from the abyss.
We witness, good Watcher, faith kept in all our paths.
What was...
The necropolis hosts many spirits. We thank these guardians for their protection and friendship. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
Hasn't everyone from time to time?
When I was younger, it happened more often than that. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. It goes beyond dread. can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, in sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
That sounds great. Thanks.
Would you mind letting Manfred pour? He does so love seeing the steam rise from the cups.
I wonder what this is about.
It's a meditative puzzle on the echoes of our actions.
You know the solution?
It needs to be discovered if it's to have any meaning.
All right.
Allow me.
Let's try this again.
At once.
As a spirit mage, Emmrich, you must sense spite.
I'm sorry that you two came together under such unjust circumstances. Ah. My sympathies.
You can hear spite, even when he doesn't take me over?
This close, yes.
I am so sorry.
Right away. Straight away.
That opened up something.
I don't understand why the Risen God sent us to this pit.
There's power for the taking, according to that necromancer we spoke with.
I don't trust it. Did you just hear something?
Certainly. This one keeps its memories yet.
So many rooms. What's following? What are you? Stay away! They're gone. House is safe.
We've a fight ahead.
Enemies of Empire! The Winter Glory! The Pokemon
Venatori sure made themselves cozy here.
The cultists will be staying longer than they imagined.
What do we have here? Emmrich? There we go. I'll need a wisp.
What do you dream of in the dark?
No! Not yet! Don't bury me! I'm alive! I'm still alive! It's open. There's light.
Of course.
Wonder what their story was.
I could ask, if you'd like.
Stumbling. The steps. Skeletons saw. Oh. No choice. Had to be brave. Had to be brave. Too late to cry. So many graves.
As you wish. Please stop staring, Emmrich.
I don't mean to be intrusive. In times of stress, the possessed often experience intense emotional shifts. Given recent events...
Is this sympathy or a field study?
I'm sorry about Treviso, and I intend to look out for you and Spite as best I can. Trouble over there.
A solid hit!
I think this wisp wants something. Let's try this again.
At once!
For us? Thanks.
Very generous.
You're the spirits Emmrich and I met in the gardens.
Yes, indeed.
How pleased we are to see you hale and whole.
I gathered all the bones that Wisp left scattered around.
Many thanks. Such a relief to know the body's been made whole.
It's complained of cold for weeks.
We unlocked a room in the gardens with the bells. Whose was it?
It varies as the necropolis sees fit from time to time.
On patterns too fine for even we to know.
Greetings once again.
Watcher Volcaran. Always a pleasure. Such a promising child.
He's been grown a while. You're forgetting time.
How do mortal minds track the years?
You two, stop being so bright.
The demands of spite grace our halls with its customary dignity.
Have pity, for both it and its host are so single-minded. Such youth.
Not a truth either will enjoy.
I hate this place.
Doing well?
The sunken bell has woken friends.
Such ends they'll take to meet us. You return. Perhaps one day for good?
You really should consider it while young.
What do you hope to find here in the dark?
No, don't start. You'll ruin the question.
Hello?
Hello?
Good to know your mortal heart yet beats.
If our contact is right, what we're after will be sealed away.
We can't search the whole place. Have you seen how far down it goes?
More Venatori, and they're summoning a demon this time.
Cannot be possible. They dare fire.
Ready and willing.
Looks like the Venatori planned on taking a few things with them. Myrna and Vorgoth will be happy. I think that's the last of the trespassing Venatori.
It's a travesty so many of them gathered here undetected. We really must raise some new corpse guards.
Thank you for coming, Rook. We're in need of your assistance.
Your letter spoke of hauntings?
Malign spirits freed by the gods.
They have concretized into a variety of forms. Left unchecked, these spirits will cause great harm.
They must be put to rest.
This haunting was once a spirit of curiosity.
It has turned to a darker purpose.
There are no further signs of the Venatori. However, we may wish to send some back as cautionary examples to the rest.
Yes.
There's a haunting.
Get back! Taking fire!
Appreciate it, Emmrich.
My pleasure. Snipers!
That was like Manfred, only worse.
Manfred would never be so vicious. Though, when pressed the wrong way, errant spirits of curiosity sometimes turn to malice.
We must keep track of our skeletal assistants.
That skeleton that used to be a spirit of curiosity is gone.
Our gratitude. The magic animating this haunting is ancient.
The gods stole its slumber.
The shrouded halls have been left in appalling condition.
Memory wanes.
That provides scant comfort.
Prepare yourselves. Farewell.
With all my regards. Oh, but I don't want them to think me homesick.
Hi, Emmrich.
Rook, hello. Just composing a few letters. The other Watchers have been most interested in our adventures.
So, I've heard people call necromancers mortalitasi. What's the difference between them and the Mournwatch?
Oh, all Navaran necromancers are mortalitasi. The Watchers are a special order within them.
Very fancy.
We've certain privileges and attendant responsibilities.
What's the Mournwatch do?
Our first duty is safekeeping the Grand Necropolis and preparing the funerary dead. Another is stopping misuse of dark magic and necromancy.
Must keep you busy.
Not often, but on occasion.
What's the Grand Necropolis like?
Its majesty has stilled the tongues of kings and queens. It's a haven for spirits and the dead, a vast well of history, the duty and shelter of every Watcher. We who serve it are pledged to an eternal vigil.
What do Watchers, watch for?
There are stranger and more dangerous things than spirits in the Fade, Rook. The Watchers stand against them when their shadows rise.
Anything lately?
A few portents I cannot put down solely to the chaos of the elven gods, but nothing definitive. Perhaps only shivers in the void.
I couldn't help overhearing the word homesick.
Oh, I'm fine. Completely absorbed in our venture. But if I were home, I'd be preparing for new students or requests to speak to the dead.
You didn't stop teaching just to be with us, did you?
I'm long overdue for a sabbatical. Besides, do you know how many students the faculty wanted in my class next season? 10! How's one meant to tailor separate lessons for 10 pupils at a time? Honestly.
Can people just ask you to show up for some corpse whispering?
Oh, nothing official. There are very few of us, but we help here and there. Questioning a victim of murder, clearing up disputed wills, and sometimes fetching back last words from a loved one.
You can get anything out of the dead and they just let you leave Navara?
My gift has limitations. The dead only know what they did in life. What was clear under the sun is sometimes blurred when I revive them.
Makes sense.
Honestly, some conversations aren't worth the trouble. Death encourages obstinacy.
Good to chat. I'll let you get back to your letter.
Before you go, I wanted to thank you for your company in the Memorial Gardens. There's another ceremony I have to perform there. If you'd like to visit again. Not yet, but soon.
Sounds good. Sometimes I miss home too.
Rook, I'm not... well, perhaps a little.
You'll cheer up once we look at some graves, I bet.
The ceremony should be most centering. I'll let you know when it's time.
Offer, Dweller. I will answer.
You seem at home here. Or is it a front? You know something I don't? So much for a straight answer.
Nev, You don't strike me as an animal person. Well, besides cats, maybe.
Oh, I'm not. Back home, you find a creature bigger than a cat, and it's probably half demonic. Damned if a third of the cats aren't either.
I met a possessed cat once. Not the worst demon I've run into, but...
He can still shake up your day.
Pretty much. And the claws. The sound's much friendlier. And makes fewer bargains.
Of all the nonsense we've run into, you're what's strange.
Asan? Really?
There's been a god or two I didn't expect. But bad mages trying to make the world worse, that's not new. I had an uncle who went on about wardens and griffins. Loved the feathered things. They were always the heroes. If we're getting bedtime stories turned real, having griffins in the world again, it's not the one I'd have bet on.
Were you close with your uncle?
I didn't see him much, but yeah, we were. There aren't a lot of mages in my family, and in a city like Minrathous, it always matters. I learned quick who wanted to use me to step up the social ladder. My uncle wasn't one of them. He'd have talked your ear right off, Asan.
When you talk about Asan like that, he's pretty amazing.
Then we better keep you safe. Sing your praises and you still want something? I'll find you a treat if you don't tell Davrin. Have we got a deal?
She doesn't sing praises for just anyone. Yes, you're very inspiring.
Listen up. If Davrin finds crumbs, Rook takes the fall.
Oh, I see how it is.
Hey, glad you stopped by. I was gonna grab drinks with the Lords of Fortune at the Held. Come along if you want. Get to know the Lords.
Sounds good.
Need an edge in the Hall of Valor? Come take a look. Oh, then some helmets.
I saw the Hivernal flying by with my own eyes, big as the sky, and ready for the lords to come be heroes. We take it down, and the village nearby will eat like kings and love us for it. It had bright red and blue scales. They'll be worth a fortune, even beyond the Horde.
That's not a Hivernal. You saw a Kaltanzan. And she's acting normal. She's not one of the dragons blighted by the gods. Going after her would get us killed for no good reason.
How do you know it's a Kaltanzan?
Cutter said the scales were red and blue. Hivernals are dark all over.
Scales could have caught the light from the sunset. It was flying awfully high.
Hivernals fly like chickens. They do little hops to pounce or clear a ravine. They don't soar. You saw a Kaltanzan. Fight it, and you'll be dead and frozen before it lands.
Aw, sorry, Cutter. Taash gets final say. We leave the Kaltanzan alone.
You think I can't fight a dragon just because I don't breathe fire?
You can't fight a dragon because you don't know what you're doing.
Fine. You're the expert.
I guess Cutter's really trying to make a name for himself.
Good way to get killed.
There's rumors of another dragon off to the west. Heard anything, Taash?
Yeah. Not sure if it's blighted like the ones that attacked Minrathous and Treviso. But it's killing people in villages near Arlethan Forest. They need help.
Well, that's glory.
It's fire breather. They always have lairs with a horde.
And there's gold. Tempted yet?
We might be able to spare the time for a dragon hunt.
Can't wait to see what you find. Now, has Taash told you about fighting a Gamadon Stormrider in the middle of a typhoon?
Best time to catch him.
Oh, it was glorious, Rook.
No, I know. It doesn't make any sense, but it works.
Wouldn't the connection to the lyrium cause...
The veil to rupture? Not if you're careful. Really, really careful.
Rook, good to see you. Bellara was telling me about one of the artifacts she calmed. Her manipulation of the Hylic spheres put some circle mages I know to shame.
Oh, that's so nice. Really?
Bellara, repairing the Illuvian network alone is worth a thesis.
Have you run into anything like it before?
Not at all. The principles are familiar, but the application, the finesse. Though admittedly, my interests lie more with the spirits. Look to Bellara for elven magic expertise.
You were here, what, 5 minutes? And you had that thing fixed?
And it's quite a complex mechanism.
Well, thank you.
That said, I've noticed you working at all hours on that artifact.
Really? I don't think it's all hours.
And you're either the first to wake, or you simply aren't sleeping some nights.
Thank you, Professor, but I'm fine. Mostly.
You don't seem that certain.
Well, when you're in the Fade, there's no sun or moon. So I tend to lose track of time. Just a little bit.
So, you sleep more regularly outside the Fade?
Well, sometimes. Maybe. But we're in Solas's old home. There's so much to learn.
And we've time to learn it. But in order to do that, you must take care of yourself.
That knowledge isn't going anywhere. Relax a little. Get some rest. You'll feel better and work better.
Right. I'm not great at that. Relaxing, I mean, I think to myself, what if I do it wrong? Then it's 3 hours later and I'm even less relaxed than I was.
Perhaps I can help you.
With what? Relaxing?
Yes, I can teach you some breathing exercises, the ones we show initiates.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
Of course. We must look out for one another.
And thank you too, Rook.
Anytime.
Okay, I am going to relax right away. But first, I had another question.
I thought you might.
Okay, that's enough. Quiet now. Fine. Who wants a treat?
I didn't know Manfred could eat.
Not sure if he knows either, but it worked.
Let's see what he does with it.
Yeah, if I had a treat. That was just a little white lie to quell the riot.
Are you sure it's little to them? Oh, now you've done it. Manfred won't be denied.
Come on, guys, give me a break. Rook?
Guys, Davrin's really tired. Trying to fight archdemons and evil gods. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Sorry.
Wait, you can't just leave me with the...
Good luck with that.
We sail.
Trouble scouted.
relief.
Harding, is it true you can control rocks now?
Control? That's funny. I'm still trying not to drop things on my own feet. And I still don't know why this happened.
Best not to question a gift.
Is it though? A gift?
You saved someone's life.
I know. I just wonder what's next.
Rook, welcome to the Hosberg wetlands. I'd say make yourself comfortable.
This place is...
foreboding?
Yes. Well, foreboding is normal here, but it's worse than usual.
The Blight's always a problem in the Anderfels. It's not strange to find a corrupted patch of forest or swamp.
What is strange is the sudden surge of Blight through the Hosberg wetlands. Much like the village you found, the Blight here struck too quickly, and in strange forms.
It's choked the whole area, and the local village, Lavendel, was caught in it. But they're survivors. We can be grateful for that.
It only gets worse from here.
We've got the same feeling.
As far as we can tell, the gods you're chasing weren't here directly.
If the Blight's really changed, then the changes are widespread. As for how much...
I can almost sense something in there. Another sound under the Blight's usual song.
Stories say Wardens sense Blight. I never thought it was literal.
It happens when you join the Order. But that's more than I should say.
When we met, you tried to block the sound out. Now you hear too much.
If it helps, that's what we're here for.
Okay, this all sounds awful, and we're standing in the middle of it, which is normal for me.
For us too.
So, what's the plan?
We heard rumors of the surge here and volunteered to investigate. The first warden expects a report, soon.
If we want proof the Blight's changed, then this place is where to find it.
But the way the Blight left the village, we've had our hands full just keeping it back and helping the sick.
You need more to study.
Yes. The odd growths the Blight has formed, like boils, they surround Lavendel. I need more samples.
So you two study the Blight?
Formally? No. Well, maybe. It depends on your definition.
We travel a lot, and tend to get sidetracked by weird problems.
Who knew I'd roam so far for Morlaix? If we want to help, we need to learn what we're dealing with.
I'll see what I can do. This place is lucky to have you.
Trying to make us like you?
Is it working?
I'm not complaining. I'll give you something to contain the Blight. Oh, and watch for Darkspawn.
Can't sing our praises if you're dead.
Good point. See you soon.
Need something?
All right, let's find those boil samples. Looks like there's caves on the far side of the village. We can start there. Got a sample. I'm guessing they'll need more than one.
Knowing how Antoine experiments. Yes. Here they come. Keep that up, Rook.
Got the sample.
We're getting there.
Not to pry, Hardy. I hear you're hearing things. Voices.
Well, it's just one voice, really.
Join the club. Grey Wardens.
Don't drop your guard.
Everyone all right?
I've had some practice at this.
Another champion. Let's deal with it.
Take him out. Back to what we were saying. Join the...
This'll open the way. Got it.
You hear stories of Blight in Ferelden. I'd seen bits of it, but not like Demeda's Crossing. Not like here.
I've never seen a surge like this.
Better be ready.
This was farmland.
Like where my ma lives.
The Blight took it recently.
Check out the ballista. Could be useful.
You just want to shoot stuff. I think it sensed us attacking the boils. It's not happening.
We need to stop it.
Put it right where you want.
Down.
One for us.
And another sample.
I think we've got enough.
Yeah. Let's get back to Evka and Antoine. Blight gummed up the entrance. I think we can cut through.
Not to pry hard. In here, you're hearing things. Voices.
Well, it's just one voice, really.
Join the club. Grey Wardens hear weird things when an archdemon shows up.
What's that like?
A fever dream? Muddy. Dark. Can't quite grasp it, but something's talking to you.
My voice says I should seek her out.
I don't see you have a choice. Best way to come to terms with it is to face it.
Thanks.
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the Blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the Blight.
I can't hear anything. But if you believe me...
We knew things were bad. But if the Blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden,
Stay away from the Blight and the Wardens. How many times must you be told?
Do you think titles and bluster scare me?
And your venom is better directed toward your magisters.
Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. She's telling the truth. The Blight has changed, and that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to Blight is useful, Warden Antoine, but you've had more than one snake in your ear.
Why listen to the experts? You've clearly got this handled.
That's enough from you. You tampered with a ritual that unleashed Blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the Blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control Blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The Blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the Blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
Are talks with him ever pleasant?
We talked about the rain once. It was neutral.
So much for convincing the Wardens.
We can't give you the order, but you have us.
We'll keep tracking the Darkspawn and the Blight. We'll do what we can.
And if we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elgar'nan had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
We should take a break. Head back to the lighthouse for a bit.
He finally agrees to meet for a report, then he all but... calls you a liar.
I think you were included in that.
Thanks.
You need to head back to Weishaupt.
Soon. We can risk a small delay before we're missed.
We'll continue helping here for a while, and help you on the way if we can.
Rook, just got word. First Warden's calling everyone back to Weishaupt. Everyone except me, seems like. Guess the First Warden didn't like me joining your team.
Calling Wardens back from all over Thedas is a big step. Did he give any reason why?
Not exactly, but I've heard rumors of a massive Darkspawn horde on the move. Even hearing there's an Archdemon with them.
How long do we have?
A day, a week? Darkspawn are charging through the deep roads. Makes it hard to get an accurate idea of where they are. Rook, if the gods have an Archdemon, Warden lore says Archdemons only show up during a blight. Doesn't say anything about elven gods. Seems like the rules have changed, and we're going in blind. We need to know what we're up against.
I'll talk to Solus. See if he knows anything about any of this. Make sure the others are ready to move.